Hi, I'm Amanda, holistic biopsychosocial therapist, and this is a movement therapy practice for adaptability. Now, we as a natural species are endowed with the ability to adapt to changes in our environments and to adapt and evolve through crisis. However, if we do not feel an internal sense of safety and support, it can be very challenging for us to believe and trust that we're going to be able to adapt. So this video is really about helping you connect with internal safety and support. So building the foundations for adaptability. Okay? So let's just begin with your danda on the earth. And we're just going to roll the danda under our bare feet here. Looking down at your feet, noticing your toes curl around the edges. And then glancing around your room. Very, very slowly turning your gaze from left to right, tracking the line where the ceiling meets the wall. Step down and now use your other foot. Feeling the connection of your feet on the danda. All the little changes your feet are making to wrap and curl around that danda. And step down. Okay? And now let's stand, and we're just going to do a bit of somatic unwinding to help unwind any arousal or tension that's carried within the nervous system right now. So begin with your feet about hip width apart, and then very, very slowly turn your gaze as well as your body towards the right, and then bring it back. We're going to do that again, but now keep awareness at the level of your skin and just only turn as far as it feels easeful in your skin. So turn. Notice any areas of tension here or restriction. Come back. Now the other side. Notice areas of tension and restriction. Bring it back. Let's do once more on each side and just notice which side feels more restricted. So turning your head and a slight turn of your torso. Bring it back. Other side. So now noticing which side felt more restricted, we're going to turn to the opposite side, so the less restricted side. Turn and hold for a breath. Back to neutral. Again, only turning as far as it feels good within your skin to turn. Coming back. Once more on the same side. And back. Now let's turn to the opposite side, the side that felt more tense. And just notice now if you have less tension. Great. So noticing how when we move towards the side and spend a little more time on that side where things feel less tense, it actually helps to reduce the patterns of tension on the opposite side. All right, let's do the same thing here, but now we're just going to do a head tilt. So tilt to the right, only as far as it feels easeful, and just notice areas of tension. Bring it back up. Opposite side, notice how this side differs from the other. Does this feel easier and more free or more restricted? Try once more on each side just to see which side has more freedom. Okay. And now we're going to go to the side with more freedom, and we're going to hold there for about 1 to 2 breaths. We'll repeat this 3 times. Of course, your side may be different than the one I'm choosing. Good, and rising up. And now back to the more restricted side, and just notice if it feels any different right now. Back. Perhaps you're noticing layers of tension and stress dissolve as you move in this way. So we're actually dissolving layers of arousal and holding patterns in your body that have been your response to stress. Okay, now we're going to look up and down and just notice the difference here. So first, lengthen up through your cervical spine, lengthen up so that you can feel yourself getting long all the way up to about the midway point between your ears. Long cervical spine. Good. And now from that midway point between your ears, we're going to initiate movement, looking down. Notice where's your stopping point, or where is the stress. Okay. And now looking up, and notice, does this have more or less freedom than the opposite movement? Okay. And now we're going to move 3 reps into the side that has most freedom. And we'll hold there for 1 to 2 breaths. So lengthen up, midway point between the ears. Returning to neutral. Take some time in between your reps to really feel the shift occurring. Okay, and now go back into that side that originally felt more restricted. Noticing any shifts that you've created for yourself here. Great. And now maintain that alignment with your cervical spine elongated. And we're going to move through space here. Take a step forward and notice any tendency to lead with your neck or to hold tension in your neck as you move. If that's you, take a step backwards Realign your cervical spine. Drop your awareness into your root, your pelvic space. And actually imagine a root is dropping down from your perineum into the core of the earth. And now step forward, but moving from your root rather than your neck. Heel to toe. So often when we're moving about in our lives to meet the demands of the world, we move from our neck, right? And so this brings us out of alignment, which causes lots of pain and tension. But when our spine is out of alignment, especially your cervical spine, your nervous system is going to be taxed. So by moving from your root, you can maintain that healthy alignment and stay more regulated throughout your day. Okay? And through this down regulation of the nervous system, the unraveling of the stress patterns that we carry around, we cultivate an inner sense of safety. And when we move from our root, we cultivate an inner sense of support, right? So these are the fundamentals of adaptability. Now let's take a stance. Right foot forward, left foot back. And we're going to do a warrior one here, but it's going to be a bit wider than a traditional warrior one. Okay, so my feet are about hip width apart. Okay, so bending gently into your front leg. Hinge forward from your hips. Notice if you tensioned your neck as you did that. If that's you, rise out of it. Again, awareness at your pelvis. Moving from your root, shift forward from your hips. Okay. Belly towards your thighs. And now lift your hips back just slightly. Great. Keep your awareness at your root, the tension out of your neck. Now ground down through your inner back heel until you feel your glute fire. So you can take your hand back here and actually place it on your glute. And notice as you ground down through your inner back heel that your glute activates to support you. Okay, keep that in your low body and now lift up from your heart, keeping the tension free from your neck. Keep rooting down through your inner back heel, glute activated. Arms can come overhead. Notice for yourself here, do you have a lot of tension or restriction in your shoulders? If that's you, drop your arms down, reaching back behind you. Keep grounding down through that back inner heel. Okay, and now moving back into arms overhead, noticing if you have less restriction in your shoulders now. Great. Feeling the support of your base here. Great. Hinge forward from your hips. Place your hands down. Step forward. Straighten your legs. You're not locking out your knees, just a ever so slight bend in your knees. Hinge forward. Now bend your knees and arms reaching overhead, hands to heart center. Okay, now you just felt how when you ground through the inner heel, that your glutes fire naturally to support you. So let's go for a walk with awareness at the inner heel. You're still stepping with your whole foot. You just have a little more awareness of the inner heel, feeling the support of your back body helping to move you forward. Okay. And now, left foot forward, right foot back. Okay. Check in and just see if you're moving again from your neck or holding tension there. Drop your awareness into your root. Hinge forward from your hips, belly over thighs. Great. Now ground down through your inner back heel and feel that back glute fire to support you. Beautiful. Now lifting up from your heart. Keep your hips, actually, let's back up a bit here. Shift your hips slightly back. Okay, keep grounding through your inner back heel. And now floating up from your heart. Neck is free. Great. You can take your right hand and feel your right glute to notice that when you ground through the inner heel, you have the support of your back body here. Great. You can bring your arms overhead. Again, if you're noticing tension or restriction in your neck or your shoulders, bring your arms back behind you, reaching back. Keep grounding through the inner back heel. That's it. Strong base here. And then invitation to repeat these words. I am supported by my natural design. I can feel my inner support. And now arms overhead, and just notice if there's less tension in the shoulders. Again, repeating after me. I am supported by my natural design. I can feel my inner support. Hinge forward, hands to the earth. Step up. Find your forward fold. Slight bend in the knees as you lift up, reaching for the sky, hands to heart center. Okay, now again, imagining that root dropping down from your perineum, anchoring you here on the planet. Go for a walk about your space, heel to toe, feeling your back body support you as you move forward in life. Great. Now come to the back of your mat. Feet are about hip width apart. Hinge forward. Bend your knees, belly towards your thighs. And then walk up your mat. Lower your knees. Come to your back side. Your knees are bent. Okay. Round your spine and slowly lower to the earth. Take your hands and interlace them behind your head. So your occipital bone will be supported by your fingers here. And then position your hands so that your thumbs, the top of your thumbs, come to about the base of your earlobes or the bottom of your earlobes. Great. And in this position, you're again supporting healthy alignment of your cervical spine, which supports your nervous system. And now say these words. Let my whole neck be free. Allow yourself to feel held by your own hands by the ground beneath you. May you remember that when you connect with the felt sense of safety and support within your body, that you are building the skills for adaptability. Now notice, where in your body do you feel the most supported? And where in your body do you feel the most at ease? And you can remain here for as long as you like. The back of your neck long. Your chin is slightly tucked down, ever so slightly. Just caressing the back of your head as if you would hold the head of a newborn baby in your hands to support its head and neck. Repeating these words, I can feel my inner support. And remain here for as long as you need to come into a place of balance and presence.